therefore, fellow Africans, it is on 29th of January 2025. It's on a Wednesday, and as usual on Wednesday we discuss about the resources. Today I'll be bringing to you a topic under our pillar number 3 of the Change for African campaign. Remember, these are pillars that drive us. These are pillars that give us the basis of discussion. So our today's pillar with respect to Wednesday is the resources that we own as Africa. And so therefore, I want us to go and look at what Africa has, and in terms of what if these resources will miss, in the world spaces? What if Africa will not have these resources? Because I also want to give you a quick statistics, or just one of the very important issue about the resources that we have in Africa. It is because in Africa, it's that Africa holds over 30% of the world's mineral resources. Over 30% of the world's mineral resources. What does this mean? Because if you hold over 30% of the total meaning we are remaining with 70% of that one to the other 6 continents, because we are 7 continents, Africa being part of it. So when we remove 30% of Africa, it means that now the 6 continents are remaining in 70%. If you do the math, 6 into 70 is about 11 to 12%, something around that area. That is very minimal to these people. It just shows how Africa is able to actually, just rely on itself and have that growth that it should be having in Africa. And so therefore, what happened in Africa today or since then is very worrying, because you have everything, but what is bedeviling in Africa in terms of economic development and improvement of living standards of people of Africa, and people of Africa in particular, being able to grow themselves and depend on themselves. It is a very worrying situation, and we feel like, for me personally, because I do watch a lot of proceedings that take place in Africa in terms of how people live in Africa, in terms of how, just the issue of peace in Africa. The other day, yesterday, I think you were seeing what was happening in the Democratic Republic of Congo, one of the very rich hubs of minerals, say globally. DRC actually has a potential to be the global richest country. But then what is happening in the Republic of Congo is a very worrying situation. It is a situation whereby this has been made a battlefield for people to fight, and people to remain, in very worrying states whereby people cannot stay in one place in peace. People are dying day and night. It's about a barrel of the guns running up and down. In the Democratic Republic of Congo, we saw embassies being banned there. We saw people, just some very worrying situations happening in the continent of Africa. And more so, you realize that most of these things happen in countries of Africa that has immense resources, and countries that have greater potential to actually grow and become global powerhouses in terms of development. And so therefore, today I would like us to just have a general view of the state of minerals in Africa, and our general view will be in terms of just some of the minerals. We won't touch on all the minerals, just some of them, and what actually these minerals can drive, or what they do, the significance of these minerals. These minerals are byproducts or are raw materials of some things that are manufactured in other continents, because we do mine they come, mine it, take the minerals to their continents and countries, and go manufacture equipment, bring them, sell back to you at very high prices that has been hiked prices. So just a quick check through on some of the significance of this. We'll be starting with some of the top producers of this mineral. We have gold. countries like Ghana, South Africa, and Mali, and also Sudan here. These are countries that do have a surplus or substantial amounts of minerals that can drive the economy. If we had the requisite conditions, if we had the requisite environment, convenient environment, whereby after these minerals have been mined in our own countries and in the continent of Africa, we are able to process the minerals here ourselves, and just to be able to create our own things and even be the exporters of these minerals. But what is happening is now the opposite of that, the complete opposite of that. That is what is happening today in Africa. More so because in South Africa we may say they have tried, because the industry is quite strong in terms of gold mining is quite strong, and then but still they do a lot of export, which also not very bad. But then you realize that after we have exported what we export something, and then they come back in term after they have been added value. So when they are added value, you are actually these products are actually sold to you at a very high prices, as if you actually do not know what made these things, and you are the source of everything as a continent of Africa. And then what is happening in Mali is actually worrying, because Mali, these are some of the countries that have gone through a lot of just some peaceful situations over there, and also Sudan here. We are having people fighting, and they have immense resources. No peace in Sudan, no peace in Africa, and that is our state. Diamond in Botswana, I remember we spoke about this there on our last episode, should be last week. We have DRC, the Democratic Republic of Congo. Diamond, they do have it, but watch what is happening in DRC. We have South Africa, they do have diamond. We have cobalt, the Democratic Republic of Congo. What I'm telling you is the true thing. What I'm telling you is that Africa should wake up. It's that people of Africa should style up. It's that Africa has whatever it takes to lead this. Because if DRC accounts to over 70% of the global supply of cobalt, and I wish you knew what cobalt does. If you want to know this, maybe you should go to it should be the 8th or the 3rd episode where I spoke about the resources, the last video. Go and see that cobalt is one of the very most coveted minerals in the world, and DRC is the father of this now. Ask China benefits so much from China, which benefits so much from this. Sorry for that, and we can proceed. And that is DRC. Watch what is happening in DRC today. Then we have platinum in Southern Africa. South Africa holds over 70% of the world resources of platinum. Over 70% of that is South Africa. We have bauxite in Guinea, the largest reserve in the world. Go search about Guinea and see its state now, or we'll be having. I'll bring to you an inclusive or a very well presentation about Guinea, and see if really what they have has a positive impact to the economy. So I will leave it from there for today on Wednesday. That is about it's just a summary of what we are having in Africa, and the worrying conditions of the current situations, which actually do not define us. Because what we have, if we say define Africa actually won't be defined in that we have everything, but it will be defined as a land of gun barrels, a land of people where we have a lot of poverty, people living under very dilapidated and states of destitute in Africa. Because out of the 7 continents, actually, in terms of GDP per capita, Africa is the last one, because actually the average GDP, all the continents, Africa is the last one, with $3,000 USD, that is per capita. And then some countries, which have taken time to invest, countries that know the future of their people, have been eager to really prepare their people for hard situations and how to tackle with life in their own country. So Africa, we still have a long journey to go. We still have to make this happen, because Africa is our business, and with the young people of Africa, I think we understand this better, and we are the people to know what should be happening. So these are just to show you, these are called the whistle blowing, that we have it. It is there, it is happening, and we can do it as a continent. So therefore, fellow African, allow me to wish you some afternoon. So good afternoon, and have a great, just have a great day. And let's meet tomorrow as we discuss the living standards that our people living in Africa. Remember, Change for African campaign is here to unveil everything and to give us an opportunity to tell us that we have the capacity and we can make Africa great. Thank you. Good afternoon.